Hello everyone and welcome to the Rest Ref. I'm Caso95 and we are starting off with Impact Wrestling. So the show starts out with a video package of what happens last week. Aries defeating Eli Drake for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. That was really a big surprise, and although I got spoiled of this, everyone got spoiled I think on the internet if you spend some time on Twitter or Instagram. But anyways, we're going to talk about it later because the show opens up with X Division. Oh well, not exactly. We have El Fantasma and Roji Rahu, formerly known as Hakim Sane, against Ishimori and Matt Sydal. I really like all the attention that they are giving to Fantasma. I feel like he's a great talent. I mean, he already speaks English and he has all he needs to be a star, so hopefully he will get more attention these following seasons in Impact Wrestling. Taiji Ishimori is having a great title reign, with defenses and everything, but he doesn't really carry the division. He depends too much on his opponent. With Trevor Lee was entertaining because Trevor Lee is crazy, and with Caleb Conley they will cause problems to Ishimori. But now he is feuding with Desmond Xavier, I think, and that's not necessarily a lot of drama, but the wrestling side is 100% good. So yeah, we'll probably have to wait till Ishimori has a better rival, because Desmond Xavier is just the good guy from Ohio. He doesn't really have a character, and I don't know, unless something interesting happens, I don't think Taiji Ishimori's title reign is going to be better than Trevor Lee's. With all his drama with the old guys from the X Division coming in, he had to face Sanjay Dutt, Petey Williams, created the Cult of Lee, and really like the exchange between Matt Sydal and Haku. Now in this match, the only man without a championship is Haku, so obviously he was going to take the pin. I would love to see Fantasma defend his Latin American championship in Impact Wrestling, but who knows what's going to happen with him. I think he looks great in the X Division, but he could definitely be a heavyweight. I like the time when Sydal kicks Fantasma's head off and the golden moonsault by Ishimori on the outside. Or it's Rahit Raju, no Haku. I was used to calling him Hakim Sane, so whatever. Matt Sydal wins with the best shooting star press in the business. And I don't know what's going to happen with the Grand Championship division. There's no a big rival for Matt Sydal. The rivalry between Sydal and EC3 was great, but he's in the same position as Ishimori, although Matt Sydal actually speaks English and he's really good at the microphone. I really appreciate that Impact has given him this opportunity, because he doesn't talk too much in the indie shows and everything, but I've heard promos by him in the last couple months and he's really good. And with this whole spiritual guy thing, namaste stuff, I think it's great, and I feel like something really cool can happen in the future. Then we have a pre-tape video backstage with Aries answering questions like, you expect to win title on your re-debut so soon. Aries basically said that he was shocked as everybody else, and I actually like how the Eli Drake title reign ended. It was a big shock, a big surprise, but I feel really good about it, because I think storyline wise this opens a lot of doors for Eli Drake and Aries, although they are going to have their rematch next week. So I like how Eli is all crazy in this segment and he's just screaming, you don't even have a contract, and I like how Impact Wrestling played with that. I don't know if they are going to make a segment where Aries officially signs with the company, or if they are going to use that in their favor, like saying Aries defends the Impact Championship outside Impact Wrestling, and imagine if he loses it, and there could be a lot of drama surrounding that. Or it's kind of what he's doing in Defiant Wrestling. We're going to talk about Defiant in the future, but he hasn't signed with the company, but he's the world champion, so I think that's great. So the match is set for next week. Then we have tag team action. Well, not really. It's the Cult of Lee killing some local talent. The squash was great, it looked cool. I really like the tag team moves between these two guys from North Carolina. I really love how crazy Caleb Conley can get, and Trevor Lee is awesome. They started giving Trevor Lee more time on the microphone last week, and now he's the leader of a tag team, and I really like Caleb Conley in this role. And a feud with LAX sounds just great when Conan is on the Titantron trying to intimidate the Cult of Lee. That moment was great, because you can see the paranoia on Caleb Conley's face and Trevor Lee, but they are not scared. Like, they have paranoia, but they are not scared. They won't admit that they are scared. So they are basically saying, you can come whenever you want. We're waiting for you. So I like all the disrespect to the Latin American flags. I mean, I think that's cool. That adds a lot of drama to it. And also Santana and Trevor Lee were exchanging words on Twitter, which were really cool. So anyways, then we have a segment with Ali and Kiera Hogan where basically Ali has a letter from a secret admirer, but it's kind of confused because wasn't she married to Braxton or something, but I don't know, maybe something cool can happen next week when she will meet her admirer. So anyway, then we have a promo by Moose, who's saying that he has never had a championship chance in Impact Wrestling since 2016, and now it's his night and that he's going to kick everybody's ass. So I think that's cool. People are saying that who's going to replace Lashley, who's going to replace EC3, who's going to replace Storm. Well, if you've noticed, those places were already filled with new talent, like Eli Drake, like Moose, like Johnny Impact, and now with Brian Cage and Sami Callihan getting involved in singles competition, I mean, we are going to miss them, but we definitely don't need them anymore. I mean, Impact has pushed stars to fill those places in the main event. So anyways, then we have a Knockouts title match, Laurel versus Kiera Hogan. I really like this match. I mean, the previous one was kind of a squash for Laurel and Kiera Hogan won thanks to Ali, but in this I really liked how aggressive Laurel started with headbutting Kiera Hogan and then basically stepping on her neck and the curb stomp on the corner and then on the mat, and I really like the crossbody by Kiera Hogan, and then she follows it up with a super kick. I think that looks great. And also I wanted to talk about, I like how Impact is like presenting their product now. No more seizure inducing camera angle cuts, you know, like 3-4 different camera angles for one movement. Like, you couldn't even appreciate that move, and now they're limiting themselves to 1-2 maybe, but yeah, that looks a lot better. So Laurel wins by basically pulling Kiera Hogan into the ropes and then the Unprettier. So yeah, then Laurel was humiliated last week, so he wants to stomp on Kiera Hogan's face, but Ali comes to the rescue. I kind of like the exchange that ends up with the lamp blower. Josh Matthews called it the code breaker, so I think that's weird, but anyways, Laurel takes a lamp blower and then she's screaming on the ramp. Meanwhile, Ali takes the Knockouts Championship and celebrates with the fans. So I don't know what they are going to do with these two, but yeah, definitely there's a lot of potential here. I think this booking is pretty basic. I mean, the face interfering, rescuing the newcomer, but I like the fact that last week Laurel Vaness got her first the first defeat of her title reign because of Ali. And yeah, so anyways, I think that's great. Then we have Jimmy Jacobs with Kong saying that he wants a beast back, but I don't know. I mean, probably this angle is going to finish at Slammiversary. It's kind of what they were building with Grado and with Joseph Parks, Jeremy Borash, Josh Matthews, and Scott Steiner. You know, it lasted all the year throughout the first 6 months and then exploded at Slammiversary. So I didn't know that they were going to use Jimmy Jacobs this way. Maybe they are. I don't know if Jimmy Jacobs is even writing for the company or, in the creative team. But I honestly think this angle is going to last up until Slammiversary or maybe Redemption, which is another pay-per-view that they are promoting for April. So yeah, this is really low key and it takes like 2 minutes of the programmation every week. So yeah, it's cool. Nothing really cool about it, like nothing really special, but that will keep a beast busy, and they presented the character of Jimmy Jacobs to us, so that's great. Then we see OV attacking Lashley, and I'm just so happy to see this. Like, when OV said we have bigger fish to fry, we didn't imagine that it was Lashley, and they attacked him in the parking lot and basically kidnapped him, and yeah, Ohio versus everything. I mean, that's really cool. And they booked Sami Callihan versus Bobby Lashley for next week. I mean, that's a dream match and it's going to happen on Pop TV. That's awesome. And I don't know if maybe Sami Callihan is going to the main event and Dave and J. Chris are going to be by his side, or what is going to happen, but I love OBE. and I would love to see Sami Callihan versus Lashley, and Lashley is the world champion. That would be awesome. Then we have more knockouts action. I really like that these past 2 episodes we had 2 knockouts matches same night. That's amazing. And well, this is more like a squash or a showcase for Hanna the Huntress, which is sad to hear that she was fired because she didn't want to lose to Su Yung or something. But anyways, anything can happen until April, you know. They can get an arrangement, or I don't know, fix it. But anyways, you have Ember Nova against Hanna the Huntress. Hanna the Huntress shows off a lot of her repertoire. I really like it. The finisher, the Scorpion Death Drop, looks great. And then Rosemary comes for revenge and attacks Hanna the Huntress and almost kill her. So now they booked Rosemary versus Hanna the Huntress for next week, and I like how are multiple storylines on the Knockouts division. This is something that Impact Wrestling has always done. And so yeah, Ali versus Laurel Vanessa and Rosemary versus Hanna the Huntress sounds awesome, but where's Taya? So I think they are going to make us wait a couple of weeks more until Taya appears again, and I am wondering how are they going to like justify within the kayfabe why Taya wasn't present for Bound for Glory and the next set of tapings, because you know we all know what happened in real life, but I will appreciate if they will try to explain what happened like within the kayfabe. Was someone keeping Taya away from the Impact Zone? Was it Alberto trying to take vengeance on Johnny Impact? Maybe I don't know, they can build something with that, or they are also yet to present Su Yung to us, so maybe she has something to do with it. So I'm not spoiled myself on that, so I mean, it's not necessary that they do this, but I will appreciate if they try to explain to us what happened to Taya these past weeks. That's how we get to the main event, Moose versus Alberto versus Johnny Impact versus EC3. I like this version of Alberto. Since Bound for Glory, he has become one of the coolest things in wrestling. Really, the guy is super crazy. He says, this is my company, people pay money to see me, and I am the reason why this product is relevant. And, you know, he thinks he owns the world, and I like how he interacts with EC3 the last week. And now in this 4-way, it was awesome seeing him beating around Johnny Impact, and the guy is just crazy. I hope he stays with Impact at least for 2018, if he's going to leave or whatever, but yeah, I really like seeing Alberto on TV, and especially with this character, I think it's great. Then I like how they are booking Moose as the next baby face alongside Johnny Impact. But yeah, so Alberto was the last face world champion, and then we had Eli Drake, and Austin Aries, I don't know, he can snap out of his face any moment. You know, he's a dirty heel after all. He's the dirty heel. But anyways, the action here is incredible. I didn't expect a brawl between the fans at all in this match, and you know, the use of the trash can, that was awesome. A lot of teamwork between Alberto and EC3. Then they both betrayed each other. The double power bomb. I mean, Moose selling one leg. That was cool because, you know, in a 4-way, and I like the fact that EC3 took the pin because he's already leaving, so whatever. But yeah, Johnny Impact, this is the #1 contender, and well, he is going to cash in this opportunity at Redemption at the pay-per-view. So he's going to face Austin Aries, which is going to be a dream match. I think that happened before, but anyways, that's amazing. So that's it for Impact Wrestling. I think it was a really cool episode. I am really loving this new season, which is going to last until April. So yeah, a lot of surprises, waiting for Redemption, and waiting to see Taya finally making her return to the Impact Zone. So now we're going to talk about ICW and Square Goal. You know, this is the highlight of the week, the biggest show. I was really waiting for this show to drop because they didn't even release a Fight Club episode on Friday, so I needed my ICW every week. And you know, December, January were months where we didn't really had like weekly Fight Clubs and whatever. So this show was awesome. It opens up with a dream match, James Storm versus Jack Jester. I was really pumped up when I heard that James Storm was making his debut on ICW. I think that's great. I hope he stays a couple of dates more. I mean, he's going to challenge BT Gunn. I don't know if that's his last match with the company. He said that he wanted to be in NXT, but come on, just spend a couple of months in the indies, make a lot of dream matches happen. That would be great. But anyways, Jack Jester versus James Storm. I expected a lot of broken bottles, a lot of beer on the floor, you know, maybe a brawl between the fans, and that's exactly what they gave us. I really love the interaction between these two, especially when Jack Jester says, "Stop, wait a minute," and then they enter into a beer drinking contest, and James Storm drinks like, what was that, 1 liter of beer in like 2 seconds, and Jack Jester can't even finish half of the beer. And anyways, that was sick, and I didn't expect the match to be end like this. I mean, I knew it's fucking Jack Jester, probably he's going to throw some chairs into the ring, but you know, James Storm basically applied like 3 super kicks and then the Ice Storm over a table, and that's how he wins. I mean, that was awesome. And then something confusing happened when Shawn Samuels comes out to, I don't know, talk to Jack Jester, and Jack Jester just pushes him, and they will get into an altercation later that night too, but we're going to talk about it in the future. But anyways, Storm celebrating, obviously the fans fuck TNA, whatever. Basically, Storm said that in Impact they told him that they are going to use him to push over a more young talent, because, you know, he's going to be like on the low level, on the low card, whatever. I don't know why he gets angry with Impact Wrestling about that. I mean, obviously, dude, you're like years in there, and Impact is not WWE. They are not going to have you as their champion for 10 years. So yeah, anyways, I hope Storm stays in the Indies a couple months before he goes to NXT, and of course I hope he ends up in NXT and makes a lot of money. Anyways, then we have women's championship match, Martina versus Casey. I just love Casey so much. I mean, last year he appeared out of nowhere and he defeated Kaylee Ray. He dethroned Kaylee Ray. She retained at the Hydro. I mean, she regained her title at the Hydro, and now her first big rival of 2018 is Martina, which she also made his heel turn at the Hydro, and I really like that she is working with Rudo's Sports and Entertainment, with Red Lightning, you know. And so then I really like the change in Martina's attitude, the session goth. So the match was great. I really like the moves by Casey. I mean, the use of the ropes and a lot of lucha libre, and he even did one like handstand that lasted for like half a minute. It was awesome. I mean, I really love it because it's like emphasized the character that Casey has, like this clowny girl that is also very dangerous, and you know, she's just one of the best wrestlers in the world, but she likes to have fun, and that's why she's dangerous, because she's kind of unstable. And she also debuted a couple of new moves, or not, I don't know if really debuted here, because I don't follow Casey on the indies. I mean, the only wrestling companies I watch are Impact, ICW and Defiant, and Stardom. But anyways, I really like the armbar, using the ropes. The entire exchange was great, and the last part of the match was just unexpected. I mean, I knew Red Lightning had to have something planned for this, because he's fucking Red Lightning, he never loses. But anyways, you see Easton Reese in a cosplay of Stone Cold Steve Austin before the knee brace, and he basically spears with the Alpha Wave, cutting Casey in half, and now Martina is the new champion. Then she applies a tombstone pile driver over the title, and yeah, I mean, that's great. I didn't expect that Martina was really a threat for Casey, but now these two can actually get more personal. And you know, last year Casey versus Kaylee was awesome because it was personal and it was intense, and now I don't know, with Rude on her side, Martina, I think she can make this awesome rivalry happen. And anyways, then we have tag team action, Rampage, Bram and Ashton Smith defending their titles against the Purge. And yeah, so this tag team is just amazing. I'm already a fan of these guys since they beat Polo Promotions, but especially because they're, well, not debut, but their surprising appearance challenging Polo Promotions accompanied by the women was great, because Ashton Smith was just acting like a crazy man. I thought like a vein was going to pop out of his neck. And in this match he like turned it down a bit, but still. And how awesome is to have Rampage Brown as tag team champion in ICW, and with a feud with Zach Gibson in Defiant Wrestling at the same time. Like, I'm already loving 2018, it's amazing. And yeah, the Purge, I like how they isolated Ashton Smith for the longest time they could, until Rampage Brown steals the tag and then takes both of their heads off. So anyway, the brawl in ringside, when, I don't know, they are just Kyle, Rampage and Ashton, but I don't know, their tag team moves are amazing, and I really like the intensity in Ashton Smith. I mean, the only times I've seen previous work of Ashton Smith was with ICW, so I don't know how many years he's wrestling already, but he's awesome. And I like, especially I love Billy Kirkwood's commentary. I think he's the best in the world. That's just something I wanted to say. And I like the combo with super kick and Yurinagi in the middle of the ring, which Billy Kirkwood called demolition. Then the power slam from the top rope, and Ashton and Rampage retain with the women. I mean, the theme song that they have is just a banger, dude. It's so amazing. And the women screaming like, yeah, they're the best. Nobody in the world can beat these guys, which is true. And dude, this is just super cool. I just love this tag team so much, and I like how they are building up the tag team division so well. Like, a lot of newcomers, Polo Promotions, maybe they are going to disband after Square Go, not because they fight each other, but, a really good separation of an iconic tag team. But, you have the Kings of Catch, you have the Marauders, which maybe are going to be teaming this year too, that made their return at Square Go. You have the Purge, you have the Fight Network. So I'm just waiting to see how many awesome things are they going to do with this division and these champions. Next we go to the World Heavyweight Championship match, Bram versus BT Gunn. So I was really waiting so much for this match. I thought they were going to use the whole concussions in BT Gunn's brain for longer than just one episode, because he didn't even disappear for 1 week to say, oh, I'm really hurt, Bram could really end my career on the Square Go. Anyways, they didn't use that to build drama, but this was intense, and they attempted to end BT Gunn's career, so that this was personal. And of course the whole BT Gunn versus Red Lightning stuff that they booked, that was amazing. I mean, I would love to see that match happen in the future or at that night, but how they used that to trick us, the viewers, and BT Gunn into thinking that Red Lightning was going to actually fight BT Gunn and not that he was planning on doing something really bad to BT Gunn. That was amazing. I mean, holy shit, Red Lightning is just so awesome. Anyways, I like the pace of the initial spots, like really back and forth. BT Gunn trying to fire all that he has before Bram starts, getting stronger and stronger and angrier. But Bram surprises with a front flip from the top rope, not even the top rope, like the corner to the outside, crossing the barricade, landing over the crew and on ringside, then burying BT Gunn with chairs, a powerbomb through the merch table, then BT Gunn jumping off the balcony. I mean, that was just fucking amazing, and the exchange in the middle of the ring was also really cool. I like the BT Gunn basically avoids the belly to back suplex, lands on his feet, but Bram hits him with the spear in the middle of the ring, and then the combo of buckle bomb, then pop-up powerbomb, and then a super lariat. I mean, that was amazing. That combo is even cooler than Planet Terror, but Mikey Whiplash, which is already a really cool sequence of movements. I wish more wrestlers will use sequence of moves to build a finisher or a signature move. A lot of people do it, but I think if more wrestlers start doing it, that would be great, especially in television or in companies as big as ICW. So when BT Gunn hits the Technodrome, Square and Compass, Red Lightning pulls off the referee, starts distracting him. Easton Reese repeats the same technique, like a spear through BT Gunn, but BT Gunn resists the count. The referee expulses Easton Reese and Red Lightning. BT Gunn hits the gunshot. I mean, so cardiac, the last minutes of this match. Then the pile driver by Bram. And by the way, I really like how they show New Japan style the championships, saying these guys are killing each other because of these prestigious titles, and I think that's cool. Anyways, after the pile driver on the chair, I like especially how this match ended, because BT Gunn was unconscious for 10 seconds at least, and Bram was just showing off, and he goes ringside, takes the titles, gets back in, puts his foot on BT Gunn, and that's why BT resisted the count and then caught him with the schoolboy and retained. So that leaves clear that Bram had BT Gunn beaten that night, but BT, he got time to recover and he won. And I also like how BT was selling he was tired he just was pile drove through a chair. So he was walking really slow to backstage, standing on the ramp with the fans. I love the picture with BT Gun after pinning Bram. He's just with his body on the barricade, and he's giving Bram 2 middle fingers, and the fans behind him are also giving Bram the middle finger. I mean, that's just an awesome picture, something that you can only see on ICW, which is that's why this is so amazing. So now we get to the main event, the square go, and we have entering number 1 is Chris Renfrew, number 2 is Mike Whiplash. I like the use of the candlestick here, the brawl between the fans, and then it was great to see Louis Garvin enter. He was alone in the ring doing angels in the middle of the ring. Then enters Aspen Faith, and they exchange a couple moves, and they end up hugging each other. Then the kiss Molly's lips, and the next entrant is Kaylee fucking Ray. Everybody was expecting Stevie Boy, but it was Kaylee, and that was, I say, the first surprise of the night. Kaylee Ray could become number 1 contender if she wins. Obviously, the plan of the Filthy Generation was to give Stevie the win that night, and it worked. But anyways, I also like the exchange between Jockey and Kaylee Ray, because they say that in the 4-way intergender tag team match last year, which was one of the best matches of 2017, actually Kaylee Ray broke Jockey's nose, and in this match also, after receiving a double super kick by the Kings of Catch, Jockey gets backstage really by herself. I don't know if she was like hurt or something, I hope not, but you know, it was kind of weird. Maybe they were planning on using Jockey for a couple of spots before she leave, you know, the square go, but she just left without Whiplash, without, you know, saying anything. So yeah, that was weird. I hope Jockey is okay. Then we have Shell Samuels, and obviously I'm not going to talk about the entire square go, but the most cool moments according to me, you know, Kenny Williams taking on everyone, and then Wolfgang launching looking sharp into the fans. That was sick. Then Moose making a surprise appearance. Also the return of Wild Boar, and then Mike Bird. That was amazing. A lot of like tag team moves. They basically went through the entire roster, and they are just so awesome. I hope to see them back in the tag team division, or I don't know, with a singles career. That will be also great. Also, I wanted to applaud Jordan Devlin's performance. I think it was awesome, especially when he saves himself from eliminations. Like, he with one arm just sustains himself and push like barely his feet are over the ground, and makes you feel like, oh, he's going to get eliminated. No, he's actually just pretending. But the guy is just amazing. I also like the moment when Eastern Reigns comes out and he faces off with Bird and Boar, and then he betrays them and eliminates them at the same time. Then Bird and Boar get crazy, but the crew on ringside stops them. Then Eastern Reigns eliminates the Kings of Catch using Kaylee Ray's body. Another thing that I like to talk about is Thor Hagen. I mean, they are selling this guy as the big monster that is going to destroy the entire roster, but the guy, I think his selling is really weak, and he's not even that cool. Like, of course he's going to get better if he's, you know, keeps training and keeps being with ICW, but you know, just for now I don't buy it. And but anyways, if they are going to use this guy, I hope it ends up being awesome. And I was also really happy to see the Sam Barber experience back in action. I mean, the last time we saw him was when Kaylee Ray kicked his ass. I was hoping if he will maybe face off with Kaylee Ray, just, you know, to remind old times. But anyways, that didn't happen. But it was awesome to see Sam do his thing in the middle of the ring with Mike Whiplash, with Jordan Devlin. I mean, I wish we could see more of Sam Barber in the future, and not only backstage but in the ring. Then I really love to see Jackie Polo back in singles competition, like the blonde hair, Scotland's best, the jacket and stuff. That was amazing. And you know, he actually eliminated Jordan Devlin, and when he's celebrating, Lionheart appears out of nowhere, and you know, the people knew what was going to happen. These two hate each other. Billy Kid would say that their rivalry finished at Baromania, but they didn't even settle everything down. And you know, basically Jackie Polo was avoiding any kind of contact with Lionheart for the longest time, until, you know, he just couldn't, and that exchange was awesome. Also, I love Lionheart, but I'm never going to forgive him that he eliminated Kaylee Ray and Joe Hendry. So what is wrong with Lionheart? I just hate Lionheart now. Then I really liked how they eliminated Raby Davy, with Bram coming out and sitting on a chair and start kissing with Martina. Then Eastern Reese kicks out of the ring Raby Davy, and then the cannonball on the stage, and Raby Davy even hits Martina. Martina hits him with the title, and then they go backstage brawling. That was just awesome. And also the entrance, but Iron Echo was really great. Cassidy was amazing doing that presentation. And also to the tag team division, we can actually see Kenny Williams and Aaron Echo do some noise in that division. And when Mark Coffey appears, they were showing the face of Jackie Polo, and I don't know, I really like the teamwork by Polo Promotions in this match. And I always thought that Mark Coffey is a main eventer. I mean, he should be the world champion, and I'm really glad he got to the finals of this Square Go. And the moment when, you know, Polo Promotions does her greeting, her secret handshake, and Lionheart super kicks Mark Coffey and stands right beside Jackie Polo. Jackie Polo tries not to look at him. That was amazing. That was teasing the fans, and you know, but instead of just a confrontation right there, Mike Whiplash takes on Lionheart and Chris Renfrew hits Jackie Polo, and that was just amazing. And then Viper, another surprise, enters. It basically destroys Polo Promotions by herself, and then Mike Whiplash, then the Viper driver to Jody Fleisch. Yeah, the thing with DCT and Joseph Connors was also really cool. It was kind of weird that after Joseph Connors hit Viper with the chair shot, Viper was just, you know, faded. Like she was just on the ground until she was eliminated by Stevie Boy. But I hope Viper is okay, and I really want to watch DCT versus Joseph Connors too. Then I really loved the entrance of Clayton. I think he's amazing. You know, he fails the coast to coast and then gets eliminated by Chris Renfrew. And then at number 29, Stevie fucking Boyce enters with a Stone Cold Stunner to Chris Renfrew. So this guy, man, Stevie Boy was focused, more focused than ever. I mean, it was a long road for him to finally get to an opportunity to be the world champion. And you know, after the whole road to Fear and Loathing, the way that they built such an ambitious and big and long-term storyline with Stevie Boy and Whiplash, and now Stevie Boy and the leader of the Filthy Generation, probably going to be world champion this year. Man, I'm just so happy because I just love so much Stevie Boy, and I'm really glad he's getting all these opportunities, and the guy is amazing. So Joe enters and starts giving Freak of Natures to everyone, but Lionheart eliminates him, so that's why I hate Lionheart. So anyway, the final confrontation between Lionheart and Jackie Polo was awesome, especially because after that, Stevie Boy eliminates Jackie and Mark Coffey's team eliminates Lionheart. And I didn't expect that at all, and that's how we get to the final three. Kenny Williams, Mark Coffey, and Stevie Boy. And then the brawl between Jackie Polo and Lionheart on ringside, where Coach Tripp comes out and fucking Mark Dallas to control Lionheart. I mean, that was just so awesome. And they booked another match between these two, like it's going to happen, it's not going to happen, maybe at Baromania, maybe not. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see this, especially because this leaves Mark Coffey on a singles competition mode, and so I'd love to see Jackie Polo and Mark Coffey go separate ways, just exploring what they can do by themselves. And imagine if Mark Coffey starts a singles career and now Joe Coffey comes back, and a feud between Coffeys will be awesome. I don't know what they are going to do with these guys, but only good things can happen now. I really like the exchange between Mark Coffey and Kenny Williams. You know, Mark Coffey avoiding the Tilt the World DDT, and then the Red Foreman and the clothesline for Hell Valley. That was just amazing. The way they eliminated Kenny Williams with Kaylee Ray interfering, and then Mark Coffey almost eliminates Stevie Boy and starts celebrating, but the Kings of Catch save Stevie Boy. Now we have Mark Coffey versus Stevie one on one, mano. And yeah, those final moments were just amazing. I mean, the chair shot at the end when Mark Coffey is not going to hit ringside after 2 strikes, and then a chair shot to the face, and Stevie Boy wins, and the whole celebration with the Fifth Generation, the briefcase, that was amazing. Yeah, it really feels really satisfying to see Stevie Boy finally getting a title shot, and I hope he becomes world champion. Honestly, I think that will be amazing. But anyways, then we hear the gunshot and BT Gun comes out face to face with Stevie Boy, and I'm just dying to see what these two are going to do to each other. What is going the Fifth Generation do if Stevie Boy becomes world champion? That would be just amazing. Anyways, it was an awesome show, an insane show. I really like all the surprises during the Square Go. I love how they are shaping up the tag team division and the female division, getting more personal with Martina and Casey. Now Stevie Boy is #1 contender, but also BTN has to face James Storm before they start worrying about Stevie Boy. So, and I also want to know what is going to happen with Bram and Rudo and Red Lightning. What is Red Lightning's plan B, plan C, plan D? Because you know he always has a plan to fuck the rest of the roster up. So anyways, now let's jump right into Defiant Wrestling, which starts with a video package. I'm loving these video packages, by the way, about Aussie Open versus BT Gunn and Joe Coffey, the Hunter Brothers versus the South Coast Connections, and of course Gabriel Kidd versus Austin Aries, which was a dream match. It was amazing. Austin Aries retained. Gabriel Kidd getting the respect by Austin Aries. And anyways, the show kicks off with Jimmy Havoc versus Primate in a hardcore match for the Hardcore Championship, which was booked by IPW guys, where these two had to kill each other first and then defend their tag team titles in the main event. So I really love this match. I like the fact I like when Primate uses the cheese grater on Havoc's forehead and then he licks the cheese grater like, juicy fuck, you're amazing. Havoc going through a table. The kickoff of the match, like with a present for Havoc, then he staple guns Primate face and then the thumbtacks on the ring, and the way that Havoc finally defeated Primate after, I think he tried like 2 times and then Primate just hugs Jimmy Havoc. That was amazing. I really love this match, and a dead match between these two. This hardcore division really had some great matches. I mean, Primate against BT Gunn, Primate versus Havoc, Primate versus Ridgeway, and only this season I think that's awesome, and I hope the hardcore title stays around. There are definitely a lot of dead match wrestlers that would love to be part of Defiant Wrestling, but yeah. Then we have Team Rampage Brown against Team Zach Gibson. I love Zach Gibson, by the way, when he makes fun of the marks, and he basically cheats because he didn't bring 2 of their trainees. He brings Gracie and Drake, and they start beating the shit out of Rampage's Brown students, but then Rampage just gets super angry, starts killing Gracie, then Drake. Then I really like how Zach Gibson is going for Shankly Gates, but Rampage avoids it and then starts pulling one leg of Zach Gibson, and Zach Gibson is just screaming, no, let me go, like hanging to the apron. That was just amazing. And then when he's in shock at the stage, meanwhile Rampage Brown is just killing Drake and Gracie, that look on Zach Gibson's face was amazing, and I can't wait to see these two go at it at Chain Reaction. That's going to be a hell of a show. Then we have a backstage segment with Mark Haskins saying, Aussie Open, Ridgeway, Haskins, and Austin Aries are the top 5 from IPW. They still don't know who are going to be the top 5 for Defiant Wrestling. Probably BT Gunn, Joe Coffey, and Havoc and Primate, and maybe Marty Scott is going to make a return, or who knows. But anyways, I really like the promo of Mark Haskins. Austin Aries saying, we've taken your dignity, we've taken over your promotion, and in February we take your lives. That was just so cool. Then we have a tag team match, Prince Amin and Gabriel Kidd against Pastor William Ever and Liam Slater. I honestly haven't paid any attention to this storyline because it was kind of boring, but this match was just amazing. And also the match that Liam Slater had with Gabriel Kidd a couple, like 4 episodes ago or something, I don't know. But yeah, this match was really cool. I really love Liam Slater and Gabriel Kidd in the ring. Gabriel Kidd? Yeah, Gabriel Kidd, right? So yeah, I really love these two in the ring. Their style, all their moveset, their selling, everything is just amazing. Facial expressions. These guys are future world champions. And yeah, anyways, Prince Amin reveals that he's not under, Pastor William Ever's spell, and the good guys win, but Jared Simmons comes out and starts destroying everyone in the ring, and they called him the enforcer of the congregation. I really like that accolade. And so yeah, this looks cool. I mean, then we're going to have Gabriel Kidd against Jared Simmons at Chain Reaction, and that's going to be a hell of a match, honestly. Then we have Millie McKenzie talking backstage. By the way, the push that Millie McKenzie got these past couple weeks, now she's going to face Kaylee Ray at the iPay-per-view. It's just amazing. And, Kaylee Ray defeating Roxy and Veda Scott at the same night, and Millie McKenzie defeating Shia Brookside and Bea Priestley at the same night. I mean, that was a statement, and Millie McKenzie is just so cool. And I hope that the match that they are going to have, I don't know if I want Millie McKenzie to win, but I would also love to see heel Kaylee Ray in Defiant Wrestling. That's something that we are yet to see, and I think that would be awesome. So yeah, anything can happen, and this is just great. Then we have Joe Hendry calling out Travis Banks, saying that he basically assaulted him the last time that Joe Hendry was in commentary, and Travis Banks just jumped him, and now he has like a restriction order, and now Travis Banks can get closer than 5 meters from him or something. So I think that's really cool when they use Joe Hendry in this like whiny, bitchy heel mode, because he is really awesome selling that, and you know, you gotta love to hate him. I also love the promotional video for Chain Reaction, you know, with every rivalry going on. Millie McKenzie versus Kaylee Ray, Rampage Bram versus Zach Gibson, Gabriel Kidd versus Jarrett Simmons, and also the match between Mike Bailey and Chris Brooks versus David Starr and El Ligero, which when David Starr and El Ligero made a tag team accompanied by Joe Hendry as the Prestige. That was just an awesome tag team, a hell of a tag team, a lot of tag team moves, and the chemistry between those two is just amazing. We're all hoping for Kid Lyco's rehabilitation, but you know, Mike Bailey is a good substitute, and he already has a rivalry with David Starr, so that's awesome. And obviously IPW versus Defiant Wrestling, who is going to be in control of the company from that point onward. And that's how we get to our main event, Ridgeway and Haskins against Primate and Havoc. But of course, the entire IPW guys were going to intervene. I mean, I don't know if I like they are selling like Pete Dunne and Ridgeway as really weak opponents, like they can get beat very easily. But yeah, I guess you know, it's a matter of time until they, you know, become really a threat to any Defiant Wrestling member. And but anyways, I really like this match. The entire IPW roster against Havoc and Primate was really cool until Kirby and the rest of the good guys enter and with like a metallic tubes and start fighting off the IPW guys. And yeah, so I thought that we were going to have new tag team champions, honestly, but I don't know. The match was great. The segment was awesome. I really like how Defiant Wrestling, since they were WCPW, had this really good timing to create a lot of cool moments. I really like when the first time IPW invaded Defiant Wrestling, you had the fans screaming, we are Defiant. I think that chant is a lot better than Defiant, Defiant, which is also cool, but you know. And so I wonder what are they going to scream at the pay-per-view. So yeah, that's how the show ends. I mean, the rivalries have been built so good that I can't wait to see every single match that's going to be a part of the show. Even the latest match that they booked, which is Damian Dunn against one of the Rampage Brown students that I don't remember. But yeah, I also want to see that match because I want to see that heel no fan Dunn still in the show, because I know the guy could be a world champion if a company just gives him the opportunity, and I'm really excited for seeing him on Defiant Wrestling weekly. So anyways, just waiting for Chain Reaction. That's going to be a hell of a show, and that's the closest next big show that's going on right now. So this is it for the Rest Ref this week. I hope you like it. Remember, all the timestamps are in the description, and don't forget to comment and subscribe and let me know what you think about this week's episodes of Impact, ICW and Defiant Wrestling. So don't forget to comment and subscribe. See you in the next one, and goodbye.